We're in Las Vegas at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, and with me is Rob Singer, who is the author of the website vptruth.com. You've also written for some other publications?
I have a couple of books that I had published. The Undeniable Truth About Video Poker.
Let's show them. Go ahead.
Okay.
You can hold them up.
This one, it was published in 2001 by a publisher here in Las Vegas. And as this one, Rambling and Gambling Through Nevada, this is about a trip I took for about a month around the state of Nevada.
And your specialty is video poker.
That's the only game I play.
And you also wrote for another publication?
Yes, I wrote for Gaming Today. It's a Las Vegas magazine. It's the oldest and most popular gaming magazine in the country.
Okay,
and I wrote for 7.5 years.
The reason why we're here is Rob has some controversial opinions on video poker. And the number one controversial opinion you have is that the games, the machines, are not random, and that flies right in the face of the Nevada gaming regulation.
Well, you know, the regulations say that they have to be random 100%. But if you're a player, and people who play know that there's something that isn't so random about them when you're at the machine. You get so many different patterns that you can, after a while, I can spot patterns, right? I've done this a long time. I have an engineering background, and I have seen these machines do some funny things. So I've also tinkered with a machine myself, and I've run testing on them. And nothing's absolute, but my belief is that based on what I've seen and how the machines operate, and there's a number of things that hot cycles, cold cycles, I know that they're randomly inherent into a randomly programmed machine. But still, there's some pretty odd things that happen. Most video poker players will tell you that. The only ones that won't admit it are the math people that don't want it to be true, because then their whole world will go upside down.
Well, let me just go back to this. When you say some odd things happen, are you saying that there are definitely patterns, and because of these patterns, which are not random at all, they're deliberate patterns, that the player is really at a bigger disadvantage than they think they are?
Well, it's not that they're at a disadvantage. Don't get me wrong. I have made money off of spotting the patterns and understanding what's going on, and it's nothing that's going to just rip people's money out of their pocket. What they do is, for instance, I did a lot of tested hands here in Las Vegas at different machines on fifth card flip over, which means if you're dealt 2 pair, 4 to the full house, or 4 to the flush, or 4 to the straight, the fifth card, say it's a jack of diamonds, it's supposed to flip over to another jack mathematically a little over 6% of the time. All the testing I've done over hundreds and thousands of hands has shown me that it happens 18% of the time on the machines I've tested it on. Now, there's been a few people that have called me on that, and they says, let's sit down in a machine. We sit down for 10 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever, and it comes out to 4%, 5%, but it's really too short.
That's too small a sample.
Right. My sampling has been large, and I believe I'm right on this. That fifth card flips over. Now, is it good or bad? I don't know. I mean, it could be good sometimes.
All right, so since you've been able to identify cycles, and of course, the people who are the mathematicians and the gaming manufacturers and everybody else will say cycles are just random, but you think cycles are actually predictable?
I have seen cycles happen, and the machine telepaths them to you if you know what you're doing when you're playing the machine. For instance, on these multi-denomination machines, I have made 2 years ago. I made about $26,000. Watching the machine on a low denomination spit out a pattern of being cold, 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 then suddenly turning hot, flipping over to a higher denomination and getting some big hits. And it happened all but one time.
Now, couldn't that be random?
It could be random, but the reason I looked at it, and I've been testing it like that, is because I've spotted it so many times.
So how do you know when a machine's about to get hot or is hot? What's the magic here?
What you see is, if you're getting a lot of for cold cycles, if you're getting a lot of 2 pair that you don't convert, if there's a lot of hands that just don't convert, and at the same time you're getting a number of sweeps, which are 5 card draws, that you don't get anything on the deal, so you sweep it. If you get a combination of that over about 10 or 15 minute period where nothing's coming, then you're in a cold cycle.
Well, that's pretty obvious, but
Right,
but isn't
right.
most video poker like that? I mean,
No, most video poker, you're gonna get a winning hand just under 50% of the time. These things here.
but that's what the math tells us,
That's
okay?
what the
But
math
we've
tells
all gone through cold cycles.
Well, we've all gone through the cold cycles, but then how many times have you seen a hot cycle?
All right, let me ask you this. If you know, and you've done the research that shows that the fifth card flips over
More often than it should.
more often than it
Mathematically.
should mathematically, have you taken this information to the Nevada Gaming Commission?
I have taken it to an authority who told me that's as far as it's going to go.
That's a government regulator or someone who's trying to protect the industry.
Yes, I'm not going to say where it is.
But is that true? They're trying to protect the industry?
Of course they are. Of course they are. You know, people get after me for saying, "Oh, it's illegal." Blah blah. Blah. Who says it's illegal? How do we know? We see every little thing that they write up and they agree to. How do we know?
Well, we know what they publish.
Right, what they publish. Hey, you know, I'm not ashamed to say that, you know, I play these machines. I don't know whether they're legit or not. I mean, Wall Street, all these places have been proven that they're not legit. You know, Countrywide, all those places. Well, this is the casino business. They're struggling, right? It all adds up to, well, there could be something with it. I've won almost $1 million over 10 years of playing these things. And some of it has been because I've spotted patterns when I'm playing. And the math people scoff at it. You know, they say, oh, it's all long-term. Everything's mathematical about it. Well, no, it isn't. I'm sorry, but you come in here to play. The casino owns the long term. These machines are the only thing that have the long term in them. The player comes in and they're playing in short-term bursts. They're coming in, if it's 102% play for the day, that doesn't mean they're playing at 102%. That means over infinity it's going to be 102%. Well, they're in here for who
What
knows
you're
what's
talking
gonna
about
happen.
here is you're talking about the long-term payback on the machines.
That's correct.
And what you're saying
If
is
you play
no
perfectly.
player is ever here for the long
No
term.
player ever reaches the long term. They'll say, okay, well then, you know, when I say
So,
that,
Rob, let me ask you a question. Why bother? What you're telling me is
Well,
that
I
we're at
play
such
for
a
the short term.
we're at such a disadvantage. Why bother?
well, that's why, you know, I'm a video poker professional. I play short-term strategies. Right? I play to get lucky, hope that I get a winner. They eventually come. I have a structured strategy that gets me out of here as soon as I get a winner. Like something that gets me to a goal. I have goals. I have a bankroll that I use. The long-term people come in here and they make believe that they've got the advantage over the casino. You know, in blackjack, people that count cards have an edge for the time that they're there. They have a short-term edge. Most of the time, they go in with an edge, and that's why they're not wanted in the casinos. You don't see them throwing video poker professionals, so-called professionals, out. These guys go around, they sell books, they sell strategy cards, they sell tapes, they sell their time, and they sell advice. Well, I do everything for free except the books because I'm required. The publishers won't let me.
Yeah, you can't give away the books.
I mean, I try to give some away, but in fact, I'm going to give these two to you before. But it's just a matter of common sense. I mean, I do everything for free. I don't charge $250 an hour to sit in a machine. I've sat thousands of hours with players.
Let me ask you. You said you won over $1 million. Is that net win?
That's net win, and I don't count comps, slot club benefits.
And it's all because you're able to track and identify the patterns.
No, that's not the only reason. That's part of the reason. The main reason is the bankroll, the money management, the discipline, which is the number one thing, because people, it's hard enough to get up after a winner. It's almost impossible for people to get up after they lost if they still got some money in their ATM account or whatever. That's the number one problem that players have. They cannot get up and leave after a winner or a loser. I do that. I have goals. If I lose a certain amount, I'm gone. If I win a certain amount, if I come in here and they give me everything for free for the weekend or for the 2 days I'm here, and I sit down and I hit my win goal, I turn around and I go home right away. If I have to sleep in the car on the way to Phoenix to rest, I do it. You know, I mean, I don't know anybody else that does it like that. I'm not going to sit here and say I came to Las Vegas with $10,000 and I made millions and millions of dollars, because that's what you hear from other people. I don't tell stories like that.
All right, let's tell everybody about your website again, vptruth.com.
Yeah,
is that free, open to the public?
Yeah, everything's free. My strategies are on there. All my articles that I wrote for Gaming Today are on there.
And the books, are they still in print?
Yeah, the books are...
Okay, so this is Ramblin' and Gamblin' Through Nevada, and the other book is The Undeniable Truth About Video Poker.
And this is not about me trying to sell books.
I understand. Listen, I came to you
I don't need the money
because
from the book.
Right, I came to you because I wanted to know about this theory of yours and your belief that machines are not random, because that is, if that's provable, that is incredible information.
Proving it is a mystery. I don't know how you would prove it.
But you have evidence of it, and this is your belief.
Yeah, my belief, my strong belief, and I play by that belief, is that the machines do not run 100% random. And whether or not that's good or bad, I don't know.
All right, thank you. Rob Singer, pleasure. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.